Let's make the call to the bullpen and welcome in Terry Collins. Terry was another big homer for Pete Alonso. He is an absolute stud. How are you seeing him improve throughout the course of his career?
Well, he's just gotten better and better. You know, when I saw him in Double-A, I told Sandy Alderson when I was going through the minor leagues, I said, I have not seen anybody with better plate discipline than Pete Alonso. I said, Sandy, this guy with guys in scoring position will take a single. He cuts his swing down. He uses the field. He'll take a single, and he's done it this year. Plus, this past spring, when I saw the Mets for, 7 or 8 days in a row, I thought he was absolutely locked in coming out of the WBC. He's in absolutely great shape. He looks spectacular, and I'm telling you, he's destined to have a big year, and he's shown us so far this early. You know what? He's making everybody work. He's taking good swings. He's going to have a big year.
Yeah, I'm with you, Terry. One thing I love about Pete is his mindset. He's a guy who clearly takes pride in his game, both offensively and defensively. He's talked about being the best power hitter in baseball. Then he sees Aaron Judge go out there last year and break a home run record. You think, Jerry, maybe that season from Judge, same town, right, power hitting guy, all the accolades Judge gets, you think that had any extra motivation on Pete going into this year, Judge's year from last year?
Not that he needs it, because he's a very good self-motivator. The guy is driven. He's one of those guys that doesn't need that billboard material, but I bet it did. I bet he wants to come back for a few things. He broke the rookie record. He wants to go for the home run record. I'm sure he wants to win back the home run derby. So whatever it is, this guy's driven. He wants to be the best. It showed in his work ethic from first base, but also just from being that power hitter. The guy is driven, and I really like what I've seen from him early on for sure.
Yeah, it's hard for me to obviously get inside his head or lay a narrative on him, but I will say that interviewing, I remember you talk about the home run derby, Jerry. I remember interviewing Pete in Cleveland after his first home run derby win, and we're looking around the clubhouse at Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and all these other young stars in the club that were around that night. With Jock Peterson went deep in the home run derby, and I was like, Pete was really new on the scene, and I was asking him, like, do you want to be one of these guys? You want to be one of the big young stars of the game? And he's like, yes, absolutely. So that's where he was coming into the league with that mindset of not shying away from wanting to be one of these marquee guys. So to think that in New York, with him and Judge being the two guys with that elite, like 80 power, does he think about it? That'd be a question for him, but it wouldn't shock me. They're obviously very different players,
right?
And a million different ways, but they both have the same elite power or similar elite power.
But you talked about the drive that Pete has had since a young player, right? Always trying to prove the doubters wrong about him, whether it's his body, whether it's his defense, and he's done a great job being better defensively at first base. And when you see somebody, look, you're as competitive as he is and as driven and as prideful as he is, you see somebody in your town getting all those accolades, thinking, and I know Pete thinks this without talking to him, that he is the best power hitter in the game. You see Judge at 62, you know what? If he could do it, I could do it. And I do think it has an impact on Alonso, which would be great for the Mets.